Hello, my dear students. Welcome back. Welcome to our second week of our online class. So, the topic that we are going to tackle for this week will be robbery investigation. And I hope sana may matutunan kayo ulit habang dinidiscuss ko ito. Simulan na natin. Simulan natin siya by defining what is the crime of robbery. So, sabi dito sa definition, robbery is the taking of personal property belonging to another with the intent to gain by means of violence against or intimidation of any person or using force upon things. So, ito yung definition na binigay ng Revised Penal Code. So, next, the classification of robbery as provided by the Articles 294, 297, 298, 299, and 302 of the RPC, robbery is divided into two different classifications. So, una, robbery with violence against or intimidation of persons, and second one, robbery with the use of force upon things. Na i-discuss natin tong two different classifications dun sa elements. Napunta tayo sa elements. Okay, bago tayo mag-proceed, ang corpus delicti na tinatawag natin is the body of the crime. Okay? Latin maxim siya ng body of the crime. Now we have the elements of the crime of robbery. There is a crime of robbery if lahat ng ito, yung four elements na nakalagay dito, is present. Pag wala ang isa, wala tayong masasabing crime of robbery. Now, first element, there must be a personal property. Again, pag sinabi nating personal property, ito yung mga properties that is movable. Pwedeng ilipat sa iba't ibang lugar. That is personal property. For example, wallet, cellphone, jewelries, cash. So, that is personal property. Pangalawa, that personal property belonging to another. Hindi mo pagmamay-ari o pagmamay-ari ng iba yung bagay na yon. And then, kinuha mo yung bagay na yon and meron kang intent to gain. Pag sinabi nating intent to gain, may benefit kang makukuha. And karaniwan, ang most common na gain ng mga magnanakaw is monetary gain. It involves money. Last one, that there is violence against or intimidation of any person. Okay, discuss natin to. Violence against, from the term violence, physical violence. Okay, sinuntok mo yung isang tao para makuha mo yung gamit niya or sinaksak mo siya. Okay, gumamit ka ng force and then nag-inflict ka ng violence doon sa tao, that is one element. And pangalawa, intimidation of any person. How will you intimidate a person? Okay, for example, display of weapon. Okay? Any instrument na pwede mong ipanakot doon sa victim or any instrument that will trigger the fear of your victim. And then last one, or there is force upon things. For example, you forcefully or by deceit entered a home of a person or nakalock yung room or yung bahay, then binuksan mo, pinilit mong buksan, sinira mo yung mga bintana, pintuan, ganyan, or vault, ganyan. So, that is force upon things. Now, let's move on. Types of robbery. First, we have street robbery. Offenses occurring in public streets. Anong meron sa public streets? Maraming tao. Thoroughfares, ganun din. Outdoor localities, not obstructed by public view. Ibig sabihin, nakikita yon ng mga tao. Maraming taong nakapaligid dun sa lugar na yon. Most of the robberies fall into this type. Oo, marami ang karamihan ng mga magnanakaw ay mga snatcher, pickpocketer, ganyan, or hold-upper. Ganyan. Most of the robberies fall into this type. The typical street attack involves a young suspect and an obviously vulnerable victim. Ano yung mga vulnerable victim na binabanggit dito? A good example is yung mga tao na mahilig mag-wear ng kanilang mga jewelries kapag nasa labas. Mga dangling sila, gold, necklace, bracelets, watches, may ganyan. Tapos nagpapakita ng madaming pera. Syempre, yung nagbibigay sila ng opportunity para yung mga magnanakaw is mag-commit ng crime. So that is vulnerable victim. A substantial portion of strong arm robberies occur in the streets, as do those purse snatches, okay, pickpocketers, or mga snatching are classified as robberies. So that is street robbery. Now we have residential robbery. Residential robbery takes place whenever an offender forcefully or by deceit enters a domicile. Pag sinabi nating domicile, ito yung tahanan, house. Okay? All victim is present for the purpose of taking that person's possession and valuables. Okay, paano tong forcefully? Ito ang sinabi ko, pag sisirain mo yung pintuan, sisirain mo yung tawag nito, yung windows, ganyan. Or, meron kang susi, pero parang duplicate lang yon, pinagawa mo sa pick lockers, ganyan. Or mga Petermans. Now, fortunately, individuals who enters a residence for the purpose of committing robbery are relatively rare. Madalang daw yung mga akyat bahay na type of robbery. Now, we have vehicle-related robbery. Okay? Ang example nito is yung mga hold-up sa mga kotse, sa mga taxi, jeep, tricycle drivers, mga ganyan, van operators. In vehicle-related robbery, operator of some commercial types of vehicle is victimized. Okay? The commercial types of vehicle. Sabi ko kanina, taxi, jeep, tricycle, grab, mga ganyan. Generally speaking, taxi cab drivers and delivery van operators are particularly prone on this type of offense. It has been found out that the geographical areas in which driver works affects the likelihood of victimization. For example, taxi cab robberies occur during nighttime. Bakit? Bakit mas nag-occur yung taxi cab robberies during nighttime? Kasi mas maraming or mas kokonti rather yung tao sa lansangan. And with the exemption of delivery van robberies which are common during afternoon hours. So that is vehicle-related robbery. Now we have commercial robbery. Ang commercial robbery perpetrated against type profit-oriented operation. Ito yung mga business. Good example, jewelries, banks, mga ganyan. Pawn shops, profit-oriented operation. Mga stores, mga ninanakawan ng mga stores. The only common denominator in commercial robberies is that the looted structure normally contains cash or other valuables. Now we have street and tax may mga jewelries, ito daw yung phones, gadgets, or mga ginagamit ng ating mga robbery. Ng mga magnanakaw kapag sila ay nagko-commit or nagpe-perpetuate ng kanilang mga crimes. So first one, we have the ambush. Second one, the selective raid. And third one, the planned operation. So dito tayo sa ambush. Alam nyo naman yung term na ambush, okay? Based on the element of surprise, biglaan. Or, yes, biglaan kang nanakawan. For example, snatching. Okay, di ba biglaan hakablutin yung gamit mo, yung kwintas mo, or yung cellphone mo, or yung bag mo, that is ambush. Least planned siya. Okay? Then, selective raid involves a minimum of planning but some casing of the robbery scene. Okay, ang karaniwang ginagamit dito sa mga akyat bahay, mga ganyan. Yung ginagawa nila is minaman-manan nila yung bahay kung saan sila pwedeng pumasok, kung saan sila pwedeng lumabas afterwards, kung sino-sino yung mga tao sa bahay. That is selective rate. It involves minimum planning. Then we have planned operation. Ito mga big time na nakawan. Planned operation. Carefully structured, and the robbery group examines all aspects of the situation. Plans are for all foreseeable contingencies. Tinitignan nila, pinaplano nilang maigi kung ano yung mga steps na gagawin nila sa pagnanakaw, ano magiging getaway vehicle nila, paano sila papasok doon sa nanakawan nila. That is planned operation. Now, we have types of robbers naman, mga types ng mga magnanakaw. First, we have amateurs, motivated by greed, wants, and desire for a thrill. Ito lang yung mga walang magawa sa buhay. Tapos, mga gusto na, or greed, mga gahaman. And, or need for self-testing. Tinetest nila kung pag nagnakaw ba sila, mahuhuli ba sila agad ng mga police officers, ganyan. That is amateurs. Then we have professionals. Professionals are described as those persons who work at robbery as a trade, making it their living and having no other means of income. Ibig sabihin, yung pagnanakaw, yun na yung nagiging panghanap buhay nila. Yun na yung bumubuhay sa mga sarili nila. That is professional robbers. Now, we have techniques commonly employed by robbers. We have as means of entry. Ito daw yung mga karaniwang ginagamit ng mga magnanakaw para pumasok doon sa bahay or mga kung ano man yung papasukin nilang nanakawan. We have first the open door window entry. The robber roams residence areas, apartments, and hotels looking for open doors and windows. Sila lang yung mga nagga-grab na mga opportunity dahil nga may mga open doors, may mga open windows. Okay, the second one, celluloid entry. The burglar forces open a door, spring lock with a small piece of celluloid. Ito yung tinatawag nating spring lock. Kung naalala nyo yung pintuan sa classroom natin dati, ganito yon, spring lock. Ngayon, this is a card. Ang gagawin nila, isisingit nila doon sa gilid and then ifo-force nila palikod hanggang matanggal yung pagkakalak ng pintuan. So that is celluloid entry. Another piece of celluloid material na pwede nilang gamitin is yung film ng camera. Kung nag-aral naman na kayo ng photography, yung film, dahil nga manipis, is mas madali nilang ipapasok yun doon sa gap between the door and doon sa part ng pader. So that is the celluloid entry. Next, we have the Jimmy entry. Ang tatandaan nyo sa Jimmy entry, ang ginagamit is iron tool. Okay? Kung doon sa celluloid entry, ang ginagamit is celluloid. Dito sa Jimmy entry, ang ginagamit ay iron tool, such as tire iron, screwdrivers, small crowbar, or box opener. Okay, for example, dito. It is I don't know what is this equipment, pero it is an iron tool. Ganito yung gagawin nila. Sisirain nila yung pintuan. That is Jimmy entry. Now, we have stopover or human fly entry. The burglar is an aerialist. The stopover robber steps from a fire escape, balcony, or other buildings to a nearby window. The human fly robber can progress upward or downward or the sides of a building to a selected point of entry. Ibig sabihin, ang pinapasukan, ang ginagamit niyang mga entry or entrance is yung sa fire escape, balcony, or kung magkadikit yung buildings, gagamitin yung mga windows, ganyan. So that is the stopover or human fly entry. Next, we have the roof entry. The burglar break into premises through a skylight or air-conditioned duct of the roof or by cutting hole in the roof or a building or a residential home. Okay, kung may mga malalaking buildings ang papasukin nila, itong nakikita nyo dito na picture is an air-conditioned duct. Ibig sabihin, dito lumalabas yung mga init na Yes, yung binibigay, yung init na lumalabas or sa room na yon dahil nga may pumapasok doon na lamig, na malamig na hangin. That is, dito sila pumapasok. Okay, so that is the air condition duct. Pwede din dun sa pwede din daw dun sa skylight. Or pwede nilang pag sa bahay, pwede lang nilang punitin yung mga roofing sheets para magkaroon sila ng means of entry. Okay, we have the hide-in entry. The burglar hides in commercial premises until all employees have left and then breaks out with the stolen property. I have watched a documentary regarding a person na nag-commit ng robbery sa kanyang sariling pinagtatrabahuan na bangko. Ang ginawa niya is siya yung tagalak ng vault and may isa siyang kasama which is an intern. Nung ilalak niya na yung vault, pintuan ng vault, pinakita niya doon na parang nilak niya. Pero ang totoo is hindi talaga niya nilak. Sinarado niya lang pero hindi niya nilak. Ngayon, sabay silang umalis ng intern. Pero yung employee na yun, bumalik siya doon sa bangko, doon sa pinagtatrabahuan niya para kunin yung mga pera na yun. Kasi nga, he deliberately make sure na yung vault is hindi nakalock. Okay? Ayun, dito sa hide-in entry, ito yung mga, a good example nito yung mga inside jobs. Yan. Hide-in entry. Next, we have cut-in entry. The robber uses tools of various kinds to cut through the floor, ceiling, wall of a store or office to another store or office. Okay. Ito yun. Pwedeng i-cut niya yung floor. Kung, for example, this is a bank, this is another building, pwede dito siya magsimulang maghukay, going to the bank, and then bubutasan niya yung floor. That is cut-in entry. Okay? Or another example, magkatabi lang sila. Okay? Binutasan niya dito. Dito siya dumaan. That is cut-in entry. Hit and run. The robber breaks a window of a ground floor and takes property from a window or nearby portions of the premises and flees before police can be alerted to the crime. A good example dito is yung mga, for example, this is a window of the house. Ngayon, may grills yung windows, pero syempre meron siyang gap. Ngayon, dito, pag binuksan niya yung pintuan, ma-expose yung laman sa loob. Pwede siyang kumuha ng ang tawag natin dito, yung tawag natin doon, yung pangkawit para kunin niya yung mga nasa loob. That is hit and run. The next key entry, the robber uses a key. The key may be given to him by an informant. It may be stolen or the burglar may obtain a duplicate or master key by various means. Okay. Dito sa key entry, pwedeng dalawa daw. Una, in possession siya nung totoong key. Okay? Na binigay sa kanya ng isang informant. Ang tawag natin is fingerman. Then, second one, wala sa kanya yung original na key, ang meron siya is duplicate key. Pag yung duplicate, nagpagawa siya sa isang picklockers or tinatawag nating nagpagawa siya sa mga gumagawa ng duplicate keys. So that is key entry. Now, we have safe breaking. Ito naman yung safe breaking. It's the act of breaking the safe or vault with or without the use of force so that the contents can be stolen. So, that is safe breaking. Yung safe at saka vault ang sisirain mo with or without the use of force. Now, ito yung mga example ng safe natin. Okay? Example ng safe, vault. Ganyan. We have the methods of safe breaking. First, we have punching. In this matter of entry, a sledgehammer and a drift punch are used to knock the combination from the safe and to drive the spindle back into the safe. Okay, ang ginagawa nila dito is parang mamartilyuhin nila yung part na to. Okay? Yung part na to mamartilyuhin nila para sira yung dial. Okay? Yung dial. Yung dial ng safe. Then pulling, a device similar to gear or wheel puller is used to pull the dial or the spindle completely out of the safe and thus allow the safe to be open. Okay, yung pulling, syempre, from the term pulling, pull. Okay? Ang ipupull nila is either yung tong dial or itong spindle. So that is pulling. Peeling naman. This means of entry involves prying off the outer surfaces of the safe door so that the locking mechanism of the safe is exposed and can be pried open, allowing entry of the safe. Okay, pupunutin daw nila either ito, this part, yung basta outer part. Okay? Outer part ng safe. Ang pupunitin nila, ipipil nila. Next, we have drilling. Drilling one or more holes are drilled in the door of the safe to expose the lock mechanism, allowing the safe breaker to align the lock tumblers manually and open door or safe. Okay, so dito daw sila magdi-drill. Bubutasan nila dyan para ma-expose yung lock mechanism dito sa loob. That is drilling. Next, we have ripping. Battering of the top, bottom, or side of a safe with a chisel or other metal cutter, such as ripping bar, hydraulic ramming device used in body fender shop. Okay. Ito na yung as in, pupunitin nila either the sides, the top, or the door of the safe. Ripping. Burning naman, use of oxygen or acetylene torch para mag-melt yung metal, para ma-expose yung nasa loob. Blasting, use of explosives. So, yan yung mga methods of safe breaking. Now, we have investigation techniques in robbery cases. Ang una, the investigator must initiate similar preliminary steps upon reaching the crime scenes. Okay, kung naalala nyo yung word na adapt. Okay? Yung word na adapt, yun din daw ang gagawin mo dito. First, di ba? Letter A, assess the scene. Letter D, detain witnesses. Hindi naman, diniscuss na natin to noon. Letter A again. Second A, arrest perpetrators. Letter P, protect the scene. Letter T, take notes. So, kung ano yung nandun sa diniscuss natin doon, sa adapt, yun din daw yung gagamitin mo. Similar preliminary steps. Then, second one, determine the point of entrance and point of exit. Bakit mo kailangan i-determine? Para alam mo kung saan siya pwedeng nanggaling or saan siya pwedeng nanggaling or saan siya pwedeng pumunta after niyang mag-exit. Then, third, determine the value of stolen articles. Kung gaano kamahal yung mga nawala. And next is the full and detailed description of the stolen articles. Bakit kailangan natin yung full and detailed description of the articles? Para once na ma-recover natin sila, ma-account natin kung kumpleto or hindi. Or another one, para makita natin kung may bumili ba ng mga ninakaw na gamit, may nagbenta ba, ganyan. Next, gather physical evidence. Yung mga ginamit na pang pangsira ng vault, for example, pangsira ng pintuan, lock ng pintuan, yan, physical evidence. Pwede din yung mga fingerprints, mga ganyan. Then we have determine the modus operandi of the perpetrator as it would give leads in the identification and arrest of the suspect. Okay, bakit kailangan nating malaman yung modus operandi? Para malaman natin kung meron bang similar acts na nangyari in the past na pwedeng related doon sa mga kilala ng mga robbery groups. That is modus operandi. Then next, we have full and detailed description of the getaway vehicle or vessel, both in case of piracy. So, bakit natin kailangang malaman yung full and detailed description of a getaway vehicle? Para once na makita siya, or pag nagkaroon ng checkpoint, for example, doon mas malaki yung chance na mahanap natin yung mga offender and mahuli sila. Yan, full and detailed description of a getaway vehicle. Then, coordinate with other law enforcement agencies. Then, exploit investigative leads. Ibig sabihin, gamitin mo yung mga leads na nahanap mo. That is exploit. Written testimony of the complainant witnesses. Kunin mo daw yung written testimony nila kung may mga yung complainant witnesses, yung mga witnesses na nakakita dun sa crime, ganyan. Then, accumulate clues and traces at the scene of crime which serve to identify the offender. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, mga fingerprints. Kung may nahulog na mga IDs, mga ganyan. Develop informants in the local underworld who are aware of the activity of robbery, particularly the activity of semi-skilled and amateur groups, usually the addict robbers. So, again, ano yung mga information na makukuha natin sa mga informants natin? It is a cultivated information. Okay? So, syempre, dapat meron ka ding asset. Because sabi nga, it takes a thief to catch a thief. So, that is that investigative robberies. Next, we have conduct surveillance of likely fences. Pag sinabi nating fences, ito yung mga benenta, in possession, binili na mga stolen goods. Dapat mag-conduct ka ng surveillance para alam mo kung saan siya nanggaling, kung saan siya mapupunta, and other matters. Then, conduct surveillance of non-burglars to ascertain if they are presently committing robbery. Yan. Para malaman mo para mas malaki yung chance mo na mas ma-identify mo yung mga perpetrator. The next, accumulate information on various types of robbers, the known and the newcomers, whether they are in or out of prison. Para ma-eliminate mo yung mga hindi naman related doon sa case ng robbery na iniimbestigahan mo. Kaya kailangan mong malaman kung they are in and out of prisons or kung active sila sa pag-commit ng robbery. The next, be alert on modified modus operandi. Bakit? Kasi pwedeng mag-mislead yun sa investigation. For example, yung acetylene gang. Acetylene gang, ang ginagawa nila para magnakaw sila is gumagamit sila ng acetylene torch. And then, pag nag-modify nila yung modus operandi nila, pwede silang gumamit ng another means of entry para pumasok or nakawan yung isang store, ganyan. So, be alert sa mga modified modus operandi para hindi ma-mislead yung investigation mo. The next, in cases of homicide is committed, follow the pattern of homicide investigation. So, that is the different investigative techniques in robbery cases. Next, we have this law, RA 6539, or the Anti-Carnapping Law. It was passed or it was signed into law on August 26, 1972. The definition of carnapping is the unlawful taking. Again, there is unlawful taking and with intent to gain. Pero ang ninanakaw dito is specific na personal property na, which is a motor vehicle belonging to another without the latter's consent or by any means of violence against or intimidation of person or using force upon things. So that is carnapping. Specific na yung binigay na personal property. Elements: unlawful taking of a motor vehicle with intent to gain, belonging to another, lack of owner's consent, or by violence, intimidation against a person or force upon things. Then we have macro-etching. Macro-etching is the chemical process of determining the authenticity of the engine and chassis number of a motor vehicle, which is a requirement before clearance is used for registration of a newly transferred vehicle from the dealers, owners, or buyers. So, dito natin makikita if it is tampered or kung na-erase ba, napalitan, may binago, ganyan. Ang tawag natin sa process na yon is macro-etching. Authenticity ng engine and chassis number ang dinidetermine niya. Next, we have micro-etching. Chemical process of restoring erased, tampered engine and chassis number. Kung dito sa macro-etching, nalaman na natin na hindi siya authentic or na-tampered siya, ang gagawin natin is ito. Second na process na gagawin natin is the micro-etching. Para ma-restore natin, makita natin kung ano talaga yung totoo niyang chassis or engine numbers. The process is by continuous application of strong acid on the suspected tampered or erased numbers. So that is micro-etching. We have AntiCat Addressing law of 1974. It is the PD or otherwise known as the PD 533. Cattle rusting is the taking away by any means, methods, or scheme without the consent of the owner or raiser of the above animals. Okay? Cattle. It involves cow, carabao, horse, mule, or other domestic member of the bovine family. Pag sinabi nating bovine, okay, it involves cattle. Hindi kasali ang pig kasi iba yung family ng mga pigs. I think it's porcine or porcine. Whether or not for the profit or gain, whether committed with or without violence against, intimidation of any persons, or force upon things. It includes killing of a large cattle or taking its meat or hide without the consent of the owner. So, dito, ang nanakaw mo naman is mga hayop na kabilang sa bovine family. Ngayon, pwedeng whether or not for profit or gain. Pwedeng itago mo lang siya kasi naiinis ka dun sa may-ari, ganyan. With or without violence. And it includes killing of a large cattle. Pwedeng pinatay mo yung dahil galit ka dun sa kapitbahay mo, pinatay mo yung kalabaw niya, or gutom na gutom yung pamilya mo. Siguro, may nakita kang baka, pinatay mo, kinuha mo yung karne. That is a violation of this law, Anti-Cattle Addressing Law of 1974. Next, we have the Anti-Fencing Law of 1971, or the Presidential Decree 1612. Fencing is the act of any person who, with intent to gain, or for himself or for another, shall buy, possess, keep, acquire, conceal, sell, or in any other deal on any articles, items, objects, or anything of value which he knows, okay, to have been derived from the proceeds of crime or robbery or theft. So, pag sinabi nating fencing, magiging fencing lang siya kung yung isang tao is bumili, okay, in possession, tinago niya, kinuha niya, binenta niya, or sinangla niya yung mga gamit na alam niya sa sarili niya na yun ay galing sa nakaw. Siyempre, pag hindi niya alam, hindi siya papasok sa fencing. Hindi siya papasok sa violation under anti-fencing law kasi nakalagay dito which he knows to have been derived from the proceeds of crime of robbery or theft. So, that is anti-fencing law. So, that is the end of our topic for this week. I hope may natutunan kayo ulit. And I hope you're ready for your quiz. And that's it. I'll see you next time for your next topic. Bye!